Hello, and welcome to the FlexMLS webinar, Contact Portal Contact Side. This is the third webinar in the Portal series. In this webinar, we will review the information and functions available to the contact when they log into their portal. So let's get started. So for a contact to access their portal, they must navigate to your portal URL. So this will begin with portal.flexmls.com/ whatever your portal name is. So this is the name of my portal. If you're not sure of what that is, I'm just going to switch to my Flex tab, my Agent Flex tab, and I'll show you where that is. So I'm just going to click on Preferences, Portal Preferences. So this right here is your portal URL. That's the web address that they will log into. All right, I'm just going to go back to my portal tab. So when your customer comes to the URL here, this is their login screen. They will log in with their email address. Their email address, the primary email address that's on their account, is their username. So that's mine right there. All right, so the password that they'll log in is the one that they created when you first sent them the invite. So I'll just type that in there. If they've forgotten their password, they can always click Forget Password, and a reset link will be sent to this email address that's here. What you see here over in this panel, this will be your information. So make sure you've got a photo loaded into your FlexMLS system so that'll show right there. All right, so I'm just going to log in. Now they are able to save their username in the screen, but this site does not save passwords. Their browser may prompt them if they'd like to save the password, so that's a browser function, not a Flex function. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get logged in. Now remember, once they're at the login screen and they log in with the email address and their password, there's only one username and password per portal. So anyone else needing to log into that portal will have to share the login credentials. So that username and password that you just saw me log in with, anyone else that they want to have access to their portal where those listings are would have to share that, no matter how many email addresses you have on the contact file. So when your contact logs in for the very first time that they access their portal, it will open up to the listings in their saved search. So this little pop-up messages, when they log in, they'll get this, basically like little pop-ups explaining, how things work. So because I have an active subscription, that's why you see newsfeed here. So it's just basically saying your newsfeed contains all the new and updated listings. They can click Don't Show This Message Again if they don't want to see it, or you can simply close it. Another little pop-up will come up. Once you have looked at the new listings, click here to mark them as having been read. That's the mark as read. It'll mark them all as having been read. And again, they can click Don't Show Here or close this. And then the last pop-up here, click here to favorite listings. This little icon right there. All right, so I'm just going to close this. All right, back to what I was talking about. So the very first time that your contact logs into the portal, it will open to the listings in their saved search. So this that you see, this panel running down the left-hand side of the menu, this is the menu tree for the portal. So these are the searches that I have saved to this contacts file. So this that you see right here, I'm just going to switch over to my agent portal and show you. Are these searches that are here. All right. Switching back over. Alrighty. So the very first time that they log into their portal, it's going to open up to the listings in their search. If they have multiple searches attached to the contact file, it'll open to the first one in the list. So out of all of these searches, it's going to open to this first one, to the listings there, if it is my first time opening up. Once your contact starts adding listings to their saved collection, that's right down here, when they log in, it will open up to the listings in that saved collection. So if they get confused and they log in and it's opening up to the listings here, and they say, well, I can't see the listings, other listings in the searches, Jay can just navigate to wherever they want to by using this menu on the left-hand side. So clicking on the search will open up to the listings that are in that search. Now, if your contact is set up on a subscription, which is the automatic email function, when they log into the system, it'll open up to the news feed, and that's how mine opened up. Okay. So again, if it's their very first time logging in and they haven't marked any lists, or if they haven't marked any listings as saved, it's going to open up to the search. If there's multiple searches, it'll open up to the first one. Once they start marking listings in their saved collection, when they log in, it will open up to the listings in their saved collection. If they'd like to see listings in their search, they can just click on the search that's in this section. If they have a subscription running at the same time, subscription email service, then it's going to open up to their news feed. Okay, again, they can click on anything over here to navigate to the listings in that section. Okay, alrighty. Now, to learn more about subscriptions with portals, please review the video, which is, I believe, the fourth one in this series, titled Contact Portal with Subscription. So I'm just going to review all of the settings that we see here, going from left to right. So starting off with the menu tree. Again, I have an active subscription running, so it'll open up. There's my newsfeed. Newsfeed contains all the listings that were emailed out by subscription, starting with the latest one at the top, and then a history of anything else that was previously sent down at the bottom. You will never get more than maximum of 50 listings. So once the oldest listing age is off, as new listings come on down here. All right, so if they're curious about, oh, let me take a look at a listing that I got before, they just scroll on down the list, and this is the history of everything that was sent. Again, this is the searches section, so these are the searches that are saved to that contact file. The searches will have the listings that you see on your side when you click on view all in the searches, unless they've hidden a listing to not see in their search. In this section are the collections and emailed listings. So again, any listings that they've saved are marked with this gold star here. As you see, the number went up. I can take it off to take it out that cart. Those are those listings, the saved listings, the starred listings. Hidden, any listings that your customer has decided to hide, that they do not want to see in their search or their news feed, they would click with that universal no symbol, like that. Any listings that you've recommended, these are the listings that you opened up their search and you clicked that little suitcase icon on. These are those listings that you've recommended. Hidden by agent, these are listings that you have hidden from their search using the universal no symbol. So if there's any there, they can see those just by clicking on that card. If they'd like to remove any listings from any of the cards, they can just go in and deselect the icon. Come on. Oh, this is the rating. I'm sorry. Okay. This, you may say, well, I've never seen that before. This is a custom collection. Your customer can create a custom collection if they'd like. So let's say I'll move back up here to one of the searches. So maybe they want to create a cart that's more indicative of what they're looking for, maybe a chef's kitchen. So they may review listings, and if they see listings and go, hey, I'd like to create a cart called whatever, they can create their own carts by selecting the listing. It can be one or more. Once they select the listing, they click on Save, and this is where they can create a collection by giving it a name. I'm just going to type in New Collection. And you can see the collection on your side on the portal tab. All right, there it is, New Collection. Okay. And then these little icons, the envelope icons where it says listings, these are manual emails that you sent to your customer. So they can access manually sent emails within their portal just by clicking on the icons. Also CMAs, they'll be able to access any CMAs that you've emailed to them. All right, so that's the navigation point here, the menu. Moving on up, there we go. And whenever you have a search selected over here, or anything selected, it'll darken the color there. Just waiting for the screen to load, and the name will be up here. So here, when you select anything that's over here, whether it be a collection or a search, it'll let you know how many listings are within that search or that collection. Here, if you have any listings selected here, like where it says view checked, we've got a couple of checkbox listings here. You can just click on view checked and it'll show you the ones that you've got checked off there. This is share, your share function. So what you can do is you can share any listing to public networking sites like Facebook or Twitter. So once they select the listings, they can click the share icon, and then it says share listings to share. So you can click the current. The current is the one that's the yellow color. That'll always just be a single listing. Or if they've got multiple ones selected, you'll have selected. These are the ways that you can share those listings. If they've got a Facebook account, they can share them on Facebook. It'll prompt them to log in. Same thing with Twitter. They could share it using their email client, or they can create a link, a hyperlink, and paste that link anywhere they want it to go. Next is the print function. They can select listings to print. So clicking that will take me to a listings to print screen. Those are the two I have selected. The detail, this will always be the public version. So there's a report they can print out if they'd like to print out the mortgage calculator, any photos, the map, any messages that they've sent you, any list. So they just select whatever it is that they want to print, and then they can preview it to make sure it looks like what they want it to look like. Okay, so this is the report that I've got selected on this customer's file, the full report with tax, and this is being generated from here in settings. Where are you? There you go. I've got the full report with tax, full report additional photos with tax selected for this particular customer. My other customers are on full report. So if you didn't change the setting for an individual contact for the reports, it'll pull whatever report you've got selected in here in portal preferences. Okay, going back over here. So then they can hit print and then it'll send it to their printer. All right, I'm just going to go return the search results. And then save, I showed you, that's how you can create, your customer can create a listing collection like we did down here with new collection. This little arrow hides that little menu if they want to expand their view here. Clicking this long bar will bring it back. Okay. This little icon, this is a detached window icon. So the window that's over here, the report, they click that, it'll open up just that window in a new tab, detaching it. And then they can kind of toggle back and do other stuff in case they wanted to come back to that later. All right, I'm just going to close that. Moving on over, the list tab is the list of listings. I'm just going to deselect those. So the list tab shows them the list of all of the listings. There we go. With the status indicators here. So the new and most recently changed ones are here at the top. The detail tab is the report, that mortgage information and the mortgage calculator. This mimics the subscription email setup. So if you've got them on subscription already, it'll be very familiar to them. Photos is the photos tab, where they can page through the photos of the listing. If you select it for videos and virtual tours to be included, and if there is a video or virtual tour attached to a listing, the links will be here in this area. Next is the map tab. Now what you see here, these shapes, I created search areas for this customer's search. So if you've drawn a map shape for as a part of your customer search criteria, they will be able to see that drawn shape. This is kind of a great tool because it can kind of help you manage it. So maybe not a lot of listings are popping up in the area that they had you draw. So this way they can kind of look at it and go, you know, maybe we can just move it half a mile to the west, and maybe we can capture some more listings. So this will kind of help them help you manage their search, and you can color code it and do all kind of stuff there. If you're not familiar with drawing shapes on the maps, definitely come and sign up for our map class. We also have map webinars. I'm just going to switch tabs here to our home tab under member support, Flex MLS webinars. We've got the map basics, that's 3 map sections, and then the map advanced, which are the last 4 sections. So this is the need to know, these are the nice to know. And this includes map overlays, which is a really nice tool. Just going to go back. Okay, back to our customer portal. So some things you can do here with the map. Under map actions, you can zoom to a certain listing, bird's eye view, street view, more information. And this is on the listing that is highlighted, the one that's starred. They can also choose driving directions, just like you can. They can select the listings in the search. All right, any listings that they've checked, they can go to map and go to driving directions, and then they can go on over into Google and arrange the map in whatever order that they'd like. They can look at the map in satellite version. They can look at it like by zip code area. So they already have these tools in the subscription email, so some of them may already know how to use this. Lastly is the messages tab. This is where they can write a message to you on any listing there. So the listing may not be yours, but if they want to shoot you a message, this will say your name. Write a message to, and that'll say your name about the highlighted listing, the one that's yellow. They just click that. It pops up here, contact you about this, and then they just type in their message here. Again, messages go to two places. They go to your email address of record and into the messages section of FlexMLS. Let me just show you where that is. Where are you? Here, schedule message, messages. So you also get a copy of it here. All right, I'll go back there. Okay, coming up to the top here, log off button to log off their portal. Help. When they click help, it will give them help on the screen that they're currently on. So I clicked help, and it's giving me information about the messages tab. So if they need to know a little bit more detail about the screen that they're on, they can just simply click help. They can click contact. Contact, again, works similar to messages. So if you want to highlight a listing and hit contact on it, you can. Again, this is one listing at a time. And then lastly is My Account. My Account gives them an option of looking at their email settings. So this is the primary email address in their account, and they're confirmed for subscription. And it also gives them Dashboard. So let's click on that. Dashboard is the screen. These four quads that you've got here, separate is different information. So this screen, searches and reports, this little quad here, the provided searches are the searches that you have saved to their contact file. These are the ones that you did. They cannot change these. They can only view the listings that are in here. This is a testing function, so just ignore that. Any listings that you manually email will be available here, and they can click on those. Reports are CMA. So if you created a CMA and you emailed it to them, they can't access it here. Collections are all of the collections that they have. So here, they can share listings, the entire collection, to social networking again. So if you hit share, you get the same little functions. They also have MySpace in there. If they'd like to delete the listings in a collection, that's what those X's are for. The hidden by agent, and notice recommended and hidden by agent. Again, those are the agent control cards. They can share the listings, but they can't delete anything. They can't edit those cards. Only you can. But they can edit the cards that they've created or that are available to them for control. Okay? So they can share or delete from this point. Moving on down, this is their profile information. So what you see down here is what I, as an agent, entered in contact management for them. If they say, oh, my address is 123, not 1232, they can click the little icon here. Normally there's a little pop-up that comes up and opens up these fields that allows you to edit the information that's here. And if they edit it here, it'll update it on your side in contact management on their file. This is where they can change their password or email. So when they click that, I must have a pop-up blocker going on. There'll be a field that comes up for them to change their password or their email. The last section is messages. Now remember, in View Portal, if you do View Portal, I'm just going to switch tabs here. If you do View Portal in a contact file, you don't see that Messages tab, and that's why we call it the read-only version of the portal. So if you go in to take a peek on your agent side and you go to home to the dashboard, you won't see that, but the customer can see that because these are things that are in their control. They're sending you the messages. And it archives all of the messages in here with the dates and times. Anything that's dark like this that hasn't been read, anything that's blank, that's a little bit thinner font, that has been read. And they can write you a message from here. So they can just pop it open and just write you a general message if they'd like to. It doesn't have to be attached to a listing from this section. They've got notification options here. This is like a RSS feed they can grab, and if they've got a RSS feed reader they want to use, they can, but nobody uses that, I don't believe. Okay? So this is the dashboard. To get back inside of our portal, they can click on any search that's here. So we'll just click on the TOSA search, and that takes us back in. So you've got your menu over here again. All right. Also up in this area, this is your font control. So if they want to control the font to make it bigger or smaller, they can just by clicking that, plus or the minus. Sort. This will allow them to sort the listings that they're looking at. Right now it's new or recently changed first. If they want to look at them priced lowest first, they can just switch it like that if they like to. All right. I'm going to come back here. Again, in the map down here, this is similar to your controls too. That's that color legend. If you're not familiar with that, again, check out our map webinar. The locate address, the distance tool, the zoom in. Want to do that. Pan map. This is switching back into the previous map or going forward into the map. Moving on over, these two controls control this panel that's here. So this is the view that we're on, the several listings, the list of listings. If you'd like to see a single view, so this will affect the one that's highlighted yellow, you hit that, and that's that listing. So you can toggle back and forth between the two if you'd like. All right, so this is just these are the things that your customer can have access to on their side of the portal, what they can do. Again, this is very important. If they get lost and they're looking to try to get to something, this navigation panel is key. So they can navigate to any of the saved searches, the news feed if you have a subscription running for them, or any of their collections that are in this section. Oh, this button, this actions button. The actions button that you see here, you'll see it on a listing that's highlighted yellow. This gives you actions for that listing. So if I click on the actions that are here, again, contact here works the same as contact there for that particular listing. You can print that single listing. You can share that single listing, can shoot you a message, their agent, on that single listing, and listing notes. This is where they can create notes on the listing. So if they've got any thoughts about this listing and they want to leave notes about it, they click that button, click on listing notes, and then they make their notes that are right here. Again, you can see these notes. So I don't know if you watched the number 3 video before this one, the agent side. How you see the notes is from here. You go to that contact and you go to listing notes. And these are the notes that they made on the listing within their portal. So this will conclude our webinar for the contact portal contact side. Hope to see you hope you visit the rest of our portal video series, and have a great day.